Welcome to From the Magic Pencil, Voices of Writing Through. Our goal is to amplify the voices of people whose stories need to be heard. Hello, everyone. I'm Sue Guiney, founder and executive director of Writing Through. Welcome back to another episode of From the Magic Pencil. In this episode, I'm back chatting with the wonderful artist Roun. If you missed the first half of this conversation, go on back and check it out. Roun's story is important and inspiring, and we are very grateful to him for sharing it with us so that we can share it with you. So I haven't been to Cambodia in 2 years. And, I was coming and staying for 2 months, coming twice a year for 10 years. So I was thinking about when was the last time I saw you? And that was in 2020. And one of the last times I saw you is when you got that Creativity Award. Can you talk about that a little bit and what that was?
So in 2020, a friend of mine, she introduced me to this creative generation program. It's in Phnom Penh. They seeking for young artists to apply for the grant. And then I applied. Months later, I I got an email sent, from them that I am selected. So I was like, what? No, I didn't believe it because that was the very first award I received in my life as a photographer. So yeah, I couldn't speak much because I was so happy and excited because I didn't believe in myself as well at that time, and I just applied, just writing and applied to them, and then
Did you have
yeah.
to show them some of your photographs too?
Yeah, I did send them a selection of photographs. Yeah, it was, I think I showed them the low and high series I did in 2016 when I participated in the Onco Photo Festival, the professional workshop one. Yeah, I sent them a few photos of that, and then they just they just select me. I don't know why.
I don't know why. I can't imagine why they selected you either. But it was such an honor for me to be able to go. We went down to Phnom Penh and there was the big ceremony and you stood up on stage and you spoke in English, which wasn't necessary, but that was so wonderful. And yeah, I got all choked up. It was really exciting. Really, really exciting.
It was a really great time for me. You met me since I was a kid, little monkey, monkey face. I was very cheeky. So I mean, having you and Salmai and Dawn there cheering me up still, it just amazing.
Your exhibit that was in Mirage,
Contemporary
that
art.
was after that, wasn't it?
It was after that, yeah.
That was beautiful. I have one of those photographs, as you know.
Yeah, you were there as well.
And then it was extended, right? They had the gallery, but it did so well, the exhibit, and they extended it. Tell me, wasn't there also an exhibit in France? What was that?
Yeah, people always trying to support me, like Francois. I've known her since I was a kid too. She is one of the organizers of Uncle Photo Festival. They give photography workshop to Angeli House every year. So we met each other a long, long time ago as well. And she's always be there trying to support me all the time too. She asked me if she can show my work I exhibited at Mirage in France. She exhibited the work there for, not sure if it was for 3 months or 6 months. It was outdoor space, in public space. Every year there's so thousand of tourists and people going by, and they watch art. So I was very moved seeing my picture hanging on the street, and people just stop by and looking at it in Paris. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So much of what Writing Through is now realizing that we want to do. We help people find their own voices, and we do it through creative writing. But the idea of then letting other people around the world into the lives of people who are so far away and maybe so foreign from their own, getting the world to be able to meet somebody like you. The world is both a very small place and a very big place at the same time. We're so connected, and yet so many things keep us apart. And, I think the more that we can get to know each other and not be afraid of putting ourselves out there and showing our own creativity, that's key, isn't it? And I think that's so much of what you're doing with your life. It's not the kind of thing that you start off, when you're 11 years old and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do with my life. But you're just living your life, and you're living it as creatively as you can and with an open heart, and just trying to do the best you can and create your artwork. And your life is your artwork too, isn't it? And so for other people outside of Cambodia to be able to see your work and to learn a little bit about you, that's fabulous. I mean, that's the point, right? It gets me very excited to think that we are able to help the world meet you.
Thank you. Again, I feel grateful that I become who I am at the moment. And I think Anjali was playing a really big part in my life. And of course, inside the Anjali, there's other creativity as well, like writing through Uncle Photo workshop, computer class, English, so many more. And then without those support and help that guide me through, and then I wouldn't be able to be here today. And I feel like, yeah, I'm just lucky. I'm lucky to get to know all of you who always be there on my side and trying the best every time to help me. I just feel grateful.
Anjali House is a wonderful place. And one of the things that makes it, I think, unusual in Cambodia is it basically understands that through working in the arts, yes, writing, but also photography and also painting, and just having that opportunity to experience art as a kid, that changes your life. It changes the way that you think about yourself and about the world. It gives you kind of vision, like we've said before. And one of the things I care about a lot is the importance of art education. We see the importance of it in people like you. And Anjali House, that's what they do. And you're one of hundreds of kids who have gone through that program, who are, they're not all artists, but they're all living creative lives in one way or another. And they're not only working in the rice fields and feeling like there's nothing else that they can do. Being a farmer is a wonderful thing if you want to be a farmer.
Yeah.
Being a fisherman is a wonderful thing if you want to be a fisherman, but it's not for everyone. And to feel like you're given the tools in order to be able to think about, well, what is it that I want to do? What can I do given my environment? How can I make the best of my life given the struggles that are in front of me? We all have struggles. And certainly growing up in Cambodia presents lots of struggles. And yet a place like Anjali House and, riding through with a little bit that we can do helps to give you the tools to say, wait a minute, what do I want to do? And I can do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the tool that helped me to find myself as a photographer. It's really linked because when I was a kid, I didn't know what I want to do. There's so many things that change in my mind. First I want to be a professional footballer, but then I realized, no, I think I love it as a hobby, as something I do for sport. But I don't think I'm that good, and in this country, you wouldn't be able to earn much money for that. And it's not about just earning much money, but and then later on I want to be an English teacher, and then a manager, and then maybe a waiter, or maybe a bartender, maybe a chef. So there was so many things. And then Anjali, they have this program that can let the young adult to experience work experience, go field trip, see this and see that. And they kind of open things for us to see. Not many young Cambodian, they are able to see that. Some They just don't know who they are and what they want to do in the future. So I feel like I'm very lucky to study at Angelique, and they got these things lining up for the kids to choose. Go experience this, see if you like. Go experience that, see if you like. And then, it's okay if something you're not good about it, and it's fine. Just keep finding what is it that you like, and then you can do that job forever without getting tired of it. I think that is what you're trying to look for. I think I found it. I mean, yeah, they really helped me through. I never realized myself that I was into art. I never realized it. To be honest, no, I don't know. I just like roaming around and see what is good and what is not, and I just don't know. I realized it not until I have my first exhibition that I was, whoa, it's a solo exhibition.
I love hearing you say that, because I know you never really thought of yourself that way, but you are an artist and you're a photographer, and that's who you are. And you might have to make a living doing other things. Many artists find themselves having to make livings doing other things, but it doesn't change the nature of who you are. And it's wonderful that you know that, and that you can actually say it out loud.
And I just want to talk a little bit about writing through as well. When I thought back, when I go to public school, I've never got a chance to feel free about myself and talk about things or think about something. But then when I joined the writing through workshop, I feel like I have the freedom to brainstorming, to think, to question myself creatively and differently. But when I was studying in state school, yeah, I've never got a chance to actually question myself that way. And then now I feel like I've got this from the writing through, and then I've been using it every day for my life. It's a tool for me that, sometimes you think, and then you think about this and about that, and then you make a conclusion. It's kind of like nice thing for me to have this kind of thinking, because before I don't have it. I don't know if I should spend time thinking about it, or I don't know if I should go and play. I don't know if I should do anything else. When you grow older and you start to think a lot, there's so many things in your life, and I use it every day. And yeah, what feels right and what feels not right for me. So it really helped me. I really don't know what to say about this, but I just feel like it improved me to think better. Yeah, to question myself, because when you question yourself about something, or you want to think creatively about this, you need brainstorming, right? You need this point and that point and that point, and then put together if this is good and this is bad. So I have that kind of technique. It's not technique, that tool I learned from writing through, and I think it's a really amazing things that I've got from the workshop. With photography, even though I take photo, but I have to write caption too. I have to write my own story too. I have to write. So I still writing, and every day I feel like I improve a lot. To be honest, from the last 10 years, I started to know English and to speak English. I keep continue doing it every day and every day, and now I feel like I can understand people better. I can understand everything.
I know we'd love to have you read one of your poems. Could you do that for us?
Sure can. So this poem I wrote, when I was 20 years old. The reason I wrote this, I remember that at that time my life was very much up and down. I was displaced because I was living with anyone. I was living with my aunt for some time. I was living with Angelique for some time. I was living with my teacher, my brother, I know. So it was like everywhere. And at the time, I just feel like I compare myself as a very, how do you say, like something small, and compare with those who are rich. Yeah, they could have everything. And at the time, I left my hometown, I was young. So I came here to find my life, to find my future. So feeling up and down, there's so many obstacles I faced during that time. Through the dark. The world is pretty dark and narrow. The sea is so deep. The mountain is very high. The birds are flying in the air. The wind is blowing and I feel cold. I step one very small step. I clap because it was fun. I fall down and I cry. I cry all day if my mother doesn't come and lift me up. I was weak when I was in my childhood. I didn't care about everything. Every experience I soon forgot. I show my big smile when someone bought me a cake. I took it and ran away without saying thanks. When I became a teenager, I put all the childhood away. I walked with a very big step. I kept moving. I fell down, but I took a stand and continued. Through the dark and narrow way, the future is an unclear thing to see. What is going to happen tomorrow? We don't know, but we keep going.
I could talk to you forever, as you know, but it's late over there in Phnom Penh. So I want to thank you. And I know that we've already been speaking for 11 years, and I know that we're going to be speaking for another 11 and 11 after that. We are a part of each other's lives, which makes me very happy. And hopefully this time next year, in person, we can have our conversation. I'm coming. And in the meantime, thank goodness for things like Zoom and this technology that we can continue to see each other. So thank you, Roun, for everything that you do, everything that you are, and for being a part of this Writing Through community and talking to me about this. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to be able to be part of the Writing Through programs, and also Anjali Hao, and thank you for everything you've done to me and my life, and thank you so much. I think you really helping young Cambodian. Really helping young people to find themselves, to give them the tool and to find themselves in whatever they want to do with it.
I want to give a big thank you to Roun for his time. If you're interested in his photography, you could follow him on Instagram at Rounry, Rounry. We'll also leave the link in the show notes for you. Next week, I'll be joined by Jason Barron, the founder and president of the Cheli Foundation in Kampot, Cambodia. He discusses how and why the organization began, what they do, and how we ended up working together. Here's a clip.
The push to have students stand up at the end, and read their poems, their stories. That is something that isn't emphasized in the schools at all, to my knowledge, and I think it's great.
You won't want to miss it, so be sure to subscribe. We'd also really appreciate it if you could take a few minutes to leave a rating and a review. This reaches us. You won't want to miss it, so be sure to subscribe. And we'd also really appreciate it if you could take a few minutes to leave a rating and a review, as this helps us reach more listeners. There really is nothing like word of mouth for that, though. So please recommend us to any friends, family, or colleagues you think might enjoy these interesting stories. Thanks so much. See you next week. From the Magic Pencil is a collaborative product of the staff and volunteers of Writing Through, including founder and executive director Sue Guiney and deputy director Kristen Schuster. It is edited and produced by our operations coordinator, B. Rice. We would like to give special thanks to our interns, Rachel Walkman and Eva Phelps, without whom these podcasts would not have been possible. If you are interested in donating, volunteering, or partnering with Writing Through, or just finding out a little bit more about what we do, you can check out our website at www.writingthrough.org. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, or email us at info@writingthrough.org. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Ever onward.